Questions for whoever's ready?
Matt, obviously, first half you ran into foul trouble with multiple of your best players. Just, I guess, how did you guys weather that and come back and run away in the second half?
Well, we had I think we had obviously a good lead. I think it was 30-19, and we had a breakdown on a ball screen defense, and then one of our guys fell down, and so they hit those 2 threes, and that was huge in that run because I thought we'd played pretty good defense up into that point. Then we fouled a couple times, and they were in the bonus, and so it was unfortunate. It's the one thing about facing some adversity with the foul trouble, and then your bench has to play. And I thought our bench did a really good job, and I thought Carson Edwards had really struggled in the first half, with shot selection and turning the ball over. But he made a huge block at the end of the first half, so we could keep the lead. Then I thought he had a really good second half. He really responded, to that. So just an overall, good team win. It was good for us to have to play some other guys. I thought Grady Eifert had a really good game.
They made some really tough shots during the second half,
Mm-hmm.
but your team kept answering offensively. How come everything was so precise in the second half offensively? What was really working?
Well, I think, just having the threat of Isaac Haas down there was too much for him. They didn't have an answer for him, and then when they did come in double, he did a good job of passing the ball before they could bottle him up and trying to get them into rotations. So just trying to keep it simple with him. I thought he had a couple opportunities in the first half. He blocked his own shot one time and shot a fadeaway, and just, he's got somebody on him 5 inches shorter than him and giving up 50 pounds. Just keep it simple and shoot your jump hook and dunk the basketball. And I thought he had a great game, very efficient. I thought Harms gave us some good minutes also in there. But I thought that was the key. I thought he was the difference in the game. But, Vince Edwards was in foul trouble the whole game and only played 16 minutes. And, for us to be able to get a win with him being out, it's a pretty big win for us.
Can you just elaborate a little bit more on Grady, coming in and playing those minutes with Vince on the bench?
Right. Well, that was the thing about keeping Vince out as much as I did there at the end of the second half was we kept scoring the basketball or getting to the free throw line. And then on the defensive end, Grady wasn't the one that was breaking down, And I wouldn't really say we were breaking down. I thought Rousey and Howard made some tough shots. That one stretch, he had a breakdown when Hauser slipped the ball screen. He didn't stay with him. That was his breakdown. But for the most part, I thought he did a really good job. He was efficient offensively and just in the right place at the right time and playing hard. And, having glue guys like that with the personnel that we have, those guys are so important.
What, other than not foul, what does Vince have to do to stay out of foul trouble, or what does he have to do better?
A couple of times, it was just, helping on drives. One time he didn't get turned around. The other time they got an angle on him. The first foul, he had his arm wrapped on the guy just trying to deny the pass. I thought the dribble handoff on his second foul, I didn't think that. I thought there was a foul leading up to that, but, you'll watch tape and kind of see it. And that's what you do. You just simply, you watch the tape and go back and, and learn from, your mistakes and get better and just try to be in legal guardian position, so you can stay on the floor.
Obviously, you guys hadn't been challenged to this extent yet. What did you take away from there in the second half when I guess the whole team kind of recognized the advantages that Isaac and Vince had too for that stretch and kept feeding them?
Right. Well, I think that's, what we need to do. We try to be simple in what we're doing if we have the mismatch. And, we thought in the post that we had an advantage and we felt they would double us or, try to push us out like a lot of people do. And so we just tried to, get the ball inside as much as we could. But be efficient. Don't have a predetermined thought. If they stay one-on-one, score the ball. If not, pass it. When you have an advantage with your height and your size and you got a skill level, they're in a predicament.
What is it about Carson that allows him to keep going through these first half spells where he struggles a little bit and then he has great second halves?
For him, he's got a short memory. He's a gunslinger. And so, him turning the ball over or shooting maybe a tough shot would bother other people, where he just kind of bounces back and, he thinks his next one's going in. He's a very confident player. So, but I think it's a good trait to have. But you also got to go back and then the next time you're playing a game, especially a road game, sometimes when you have those kind of starts, you don't ever recover because it's hard playing on the road. But just a good player and a guy that's really made a lot of strides. But it's also playing with other good players. I think that's hard when you get to college, of just having everybody on the court that can play at the same time and understanding that.
Thank you,
So,
guys.
thanks.